Alright, welcome back to the fight before Christmas Korean qualifiers. Spawning here in the top left corner of the map, he just lost. Tied up series 1-1. It's going to be the red Terran player, YoDa.
In the bottom position as the green Protoss, it's State.
So normally this is something we say, I'd say anytime there's a Zerg player involved, a lot less times with Terran, but both times each of these guys won. I mean, it was so one-sided. I mean, YoDa in game 1 made State look like a wet noodle. State in game 2 made YoDa look like a North American player. Shots fired. But in all seriousness, like, a lot of this came down to the way, I mean, for game 1, YoDa kind of got to get away with everything he wanted to. Didn't have to worry about anything in the world. Game 2, you know, State put on a lot of pressure. I liked that pressure too. It paid off really well towards the end of the game. I think there was the potential for him to have killed YoDa straight up earlier on, but either way, he still won at the end of the day, and I think that's what matters the most. So we'll see which of these guys can clinch it out here in the ace match. It is still one of the first series of the day, though, so this is hardly a qualifier match. We still got a lot of games to go through, and of course, if you haven't seen the brackets yourselves, make sure to type !brackets here in the Twitch chat and take a look at them yourselves.
Deals.
Well... Sorry, I was just going to say real quick, I don't know who Armani is playing against, but Armani most likely, just because I know Armani to be really good, going to probably play the winner of this series. So ZV something should be the follow-up, guys.
Yeah, not sure who that is. But State has got to be feeling like that was the way to go last game. I don't know if exactly another proxy Oracle. YoDa's not going to make the mistake of trying to be greedy and get that Stalker like he did, but something for sure.
Well, I think whether it's an in-base Stargate or whether it's proxy Oracle or whether it's Blink, I mean, the motive has to be aggression, right? Like, you can't just sit back and double forge like you could once upon a time. You can't just chrono out those upgrades and hope for the best in the late game. Like, Terran players have started to figure this game out. SCV pulls have become very, very common, and there's a lot of situations where if you do just play straight up macro, you can get caught flat on your ass. And game 1 was a good example of that.
Yeah. Well, I guess YoDa... What?
I was actually going to say, we don't have the gas opening out of YoDa because we went for the CC. I'm actually surprised by this because of how effective that Reaper was last game. Like,
yeah.
8 kills on a Reaper, no big deal.
Yeah, I killed 7 SCVs. It's absolutely true. I don't know. It is a bit of a risk. And not that State was going to be able to cancel the Fortune CC or anything like that, but yeah, because you don't get a Reaper. And it's not like YoDa did not have an opportunity to take his natural last game. You know, that's the reason he was up on his mineral line or his main base. No, he definitely could have done a bunker, but just chose not to. So, I don't know, he's playing a little bit greedy, gonna forgo any scouting. Of course, he's gonna scout with an SCV, and I think he's gonna be even more diligent about doing so because you just lost the game because you got proxy oracled, but so far, not the case. Just one SCV scout and he goes back home.
So what do you think for YoDa's sake? Like, he opened with the gasless build, go with a couple Raxes. We didn't actually see him throw it on 3, though. So what are your thoughts on that?
Waiting to see if he does that on a third one or an engineering bay first.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's... you lose to Oracles. I'm just surprised we didn't see it. But he takes the old school Jakshi approach, I guess. One tech lab, one reactor.
He did get in, I think, to the main and saw how many probes... No, he didn't really. He saw the Nexus went down, right? So the Nexus was late last game, obviously proxy Oracle. This could still be a proxy Oracle, even if the Nexus was regularly timed. What usually helps in like confirming whether it is or is not to seeing the gases, and YoDa actually missed one of the gases. So he's kind of guessing right now, but in a safe way. Again, he gets a rather early engineering bait. Probably is going to throw down at least one missile turret to protect him against DTs and an Oracle, at least on one mineral line, and that's exactly what he does. Now I'm kind of interested because he doesn't get the third CC or the third barracks. If he's gonna actually get a third CC and be really greedy, which is kind of a newish build we've been seeing.
Yeah, it's actually that third CC is so scary. Like whether it's Zerg or Protoss or even Terran fighting, if you get away with a third CC, you're probably gonna sail into that late game pretty comfortably. But you are exposed to a lot of weaknesses like that 400 minerals plus the 150 for the orbital. I mean, that's all kind of just lack of army supply, right?
Yeah. So he goes for the faster factory, which I feel like 3 racks just been such the norm. I'm surprised people don't do it anymore. But yeah, 2 racks is a little bit faster, you know, star per production it is. Of course, you do get the 3 racks eventually, just the order differs a little bit. And State, you know, he went for a regular build. On one hand, the proxy oracle did so much damage that was great. On the other, it's kind of a good game plan. Like a macro and then cheese and then macro. Hope that they're kind of like on the defensive and they're not willing to punish it. But it's like I don't know if it's big enough of a risk. Like if it goes on 2 forge, that's a big risk, but it could definitely pay off. If not, we could see a repeat of the first game where like it was macro, but you just got stomped by an SCV pool.
It's kind of interesting seeing State spread out his gateways, by the way. I noticed he did this on Overgrowth too. I don't know if it's just because you don't want them all clumped up or if he just wants that little bit of extra scouting information or what the case may be, but he's one of the only players I really see do this. I mean, you're going to eventually spread out your gateways anyways, but like he's spreading them out really far, really early.
He has 3 Artosis pylons, but at least they're not 1 Artosis pylon, I guess.
Pretty much. Twilight Council is coming down, by the way, guys, so we're going to see him probably go for that Blink here pretty quickly. What's nice about Blink, I mean, okay, it's past the time where you're going to go for the all-out. It's past the time where Blink is going to pull a parting or anything like this. But it will be part of what the standard build is. You need it on the Stalker so you can deal with those Vikings, jump forward, pick them off, get some kills. So as he moves towards the Colossus stack, that Observer was not only really important, but also First Blood. Interesting.
Yeah, but it doesn't really bleed, though, so that really bothers me.
Well, you don't know that. The goo inside could be the robot version of blood.
I guess so.
First
robot goo.
First hydraulic fluid. Gah.
Yeah.
Doesn't have the same ring to it.
Speaking of hydraulic fluid, there goes those medevacs. Because they probably have that, right? I don't know.
That was the worst. That was like wicked levels of bad. Alright, we got 3 Stalkers here. This is not enough to intercept this. State's not going to quite be able to clean this up before it starts. Some damage is certainly going to get dealt. And the problem is, yeah, the overcharge doesn't quite reach the edge of his base, so he's not even able to completely cover the gateways. This could actually really hurt with the way he's built this out.
This is so helpful for dealing with the Zealots, too.
But the Natural also going to be compromised. Let's say State's in a world of trouble. He's going to lose all these probes. He's got to pull them to the main. Stacking with the Natural's not going to save him. Gateway's been picked off here. His building placement is just absolutely kicking his own ass right now.
Yeah. Yeah, at least he defends the Natural, that's fine, but he lost 2 gateways, 3 pylons. He lost 3 gateways. No cancels on any of them, and he's allowed to lose 2 Immortals. There was a focus fire on Marauders, but still lost them.
Has a lot of damage done. The probes weren't exactly slaughtered like I thought they'd be, but they did pull them offline for quite a bit of time, so for State's sake, he's not in the most comfortable spot, but let's see, can I pull up his graphs? No, they're not working right now. Boo.
So, State going for a much faster high Templar Archives. You saw that he lost 2 Immortals, but he was going to have 3 if he didn't, so he was really not looking to rely on Colossus so much, and that's interesting, but he still got Extended Lance for it, so it's not like that old school, like, fake necessarily, but now it's 1 Colossus versus...
Too little.
Yeah.
Even if the upgrades were better, there's no charge in these Zealots. They can't connect with the army properly. The Immortal is going to die so fast.
That's one thing he did get. He was getting, like, tech at a much faster rate, but he was unable to defend, so, charges.
Yeah. But okay, GG. YoDa will take the series. He's going to take it